Your top 50 Madden 24 Ultimate Team cards as of May 7th. Starting out number 50, Ted Hendricks has been phased out of the meta because of no zone KOs, but he's 6'7", he's got 97 speed. He is, out of respect, still one of the best users in the game. At number 49, we've got Ultimate Legend Calvin Johnson. The only receiver above 6'3" on this entire list. Does get jukebox, red zone threat for 0AP, but you guys have to understand, tall receivers are not good in the zone KO meta. They do not fall down like the shorter wide receivers do. At 48, we've got the honorary lineman for 0AP, George Kittle. If you are a runner, a toter, tight end George Kittle is going to be the best tight end in the game for you. At 47, we've got fullback 1, Christian Okoye, 96 speed, but does get evasive or jukebox for 0AP, as well as goal line back for 0AP. I love subbing him on the goal line and getting those boosted blocking stats for my offensive lineman. Moving on to 46, we've got one of the niche cards on this list, and that is William Perry. The only reason why you should be using William Perry right now is for the momentum X factor for 4 AP. Does not really get any other great abilities on the defensive line. At 45, and this one pains me to put him here, golden ticket, Julius Peppers. No zone KOs. He is a pure user. Now, he is 6'7", does have 99 speed, does get lurk artist and tackle supreme for 0 AP, but he's very limited in where you could actually play him on the field. At 44, the start of the offensive lineman run, Quentin Nelson is going to get secure protector and all day for 0 AP. He is left guard 1 in my opinion. Next up, the best left tackle in the game, Andrew Thomas, is going to get linchpin as well as secure protector for 0 AP. And then 2 players with the same ability stack. Right tackle JT Latham at 42 is going to get nasty streak and secure protector for 0 AP. And then at 41, Larry Allen with again secure protector and nasty streak for 0 AP. The best right tackle and right guard in my opinion in Madden 24. A break in the action at number 40, we've got Brian Branch, a very versatile safety or defensive back, but I think he's best used in the slot because he gets mid zone and flat zone for 0 AP. Your final offensive lineman on this list, a player ahead of its time, Tribute Jason Kelsey, gets the unique stack, the only card in the game that does get this, Identifier and Secure Protector for 0 AP. At number 38, tied for the lowest overall card on this list, but there's going to be a lot of this card on this list, or twins, that is outside linebacker Bo Jackson. 98 speed, 6'1", can play in a lot of different slots, lurk artist for 0 AP, secure tackler for 0 AP, also gets my favorite X factor in the game, dual threat for 1 AP. A card near and dear to my heart at 37, we've got Derwin James, strong safety, the oldest card on this entire list, and the reason for that, he gets deep out zone, mid zone, and flat zone for a combination of 2 AP, was ahead of its time, and that is a little bit outdated, but he does also get the Avalanche X Factor on and off, which is why he's currently one of my outside corners in my Avalanche themed team. You also can play him in the slot with mid zone and flat zone for 0 AP, so just a little bit more juiced up version of Brian Branch. At 36, a card you guys probably thought would be a little bit higher, quarterback Bo Jackson. The reason he is a little bit lower on this list is his Master Tactician as well as his Trust X Factor is an X Factor, can be countered now by a lot of momentum X Factors on the defensive side of the football, but still, 98 speed. If we're talking best bang for your buck, this card would be number 1 as he is really only 100k or 120k. Quarterback Bo Jackson, still a top 5 quarterback in this game. At 35, one of the more underrated cards is Harrison Phillips, defensive tackle. Gets Colossus, I believe, better than the Unstoppable Force X Factor. Only 82 speed, but Zan Madden once said, acceleration is the only thing that matters on the defensive line, and I can stand to that. Harrison Phillips will feel like 95 to 99 speed after he gets a shed on the defensive line. Harrison Phillips, overall, in my opinion, is defensive tackle number 2 in the game. At 34, a card with untapped potential, but is held back by one thing, and that is Michael Vick being a lefty. If Michael Vick was a righty, he would be overall quarterback 1 in the game. You have to be running Fearless on him. That is the whole reason you choose to run Michael Vick. 99 speed, traditional 4, plethora of abilities. Does not get Truz, but does get Master Tactician, the X Factor, as an ability. Michael Vick is number 34. Next up, we've got Ed O'Neill, card that has flown under the radar due to his rarity and price. The only thing that is holding this card back is a mid-zone KO discount. Does get the dual threat X Factor, again, my favorite X Factor in the game. Also gets Edge Threat Elite for 1 AP, Lurk Artist, and I think Secure Tackler for 0 AP for a triple ability stat. At 32, we have the second golden ticket on this list with Darrington Evans, 99 speed stock, trucking a little bit low at 86 as well as catching only at 75, but he does get evasive as well as human joystick for 0 AP, and his X Factor can get angry runs for 1 AP, but it is on and off, so I still prefer the angry runs X Factors that are on the entire game. At 31, we have a card held back only by his speed and height, and that is Gerard Mayo. Is going to get Lurk Artist built on the card for 0 AP, and then you can choose between mid-zone KO, flat-zone KO, and Tackle Supreme, all for 0 AP. Gerard Mayo is at 31. Next up, we've got Antoine Winfield Jr., the new Field Pass or Comp Pass player that just came out. Very, very expensive. Height is the thing that's really holding him back. Probably the best non-X Factor defensive back in the game. Deep zone, mid zone, flat zone, and pick artist for a combination of 2 AP. So not really a slot corner, but one of the still better outside corners or safeties in the game. At 29, the begin of the linebacker run, Jack Campbell. It's going to be choose what type of linebacker you do want. Jack Campbell is your prototypical tall, but a little bit slower linebacker, but does get that mid-zone KO and Lurk Artist combination for 0 AP. And at 28, that 6'2 receiver on this list is Jerry Rice. The reason he does make the top 30 and is ahead of Calvin Johnson is his abilities. He gets Jukebox for 0 AP, but also Route Technician for 0 AP. In my opinion, the best stack you can get for receiver right now, as if they do man up a player, Route Technician will cook it in game. At 27, Foyesade Olukun. Sorry if I mispronounced this. He is your faster but shorter version of Jack Campbell, but also gets the mid-zone KO and Lurk Artist stack for 0 AP. At 26, we have one of the top slot corners in the game, built for this meta. Mid-zone and flat zone insecure tackler, a triple stack for 0 AP on Chris Harris Jr. 5'10", a little bit short, but 98 speed makes up for it. At 25, we have a card that I did not know where to put on this list, so I put right smack dab in the middle because he's on my team, he plays for me, but he's not game-changing, I would say, and that is Lawrence Taylor, Ring of Honor. Does get the momentum X Factor, although I did not use that on him specifically. Edge Threat built on the card, not Edge Threat Elite, so no under pressure, but does get Lurk Artist as well as a couple different other abilities for 0 AP. Lawrence Taylor comes in at 25. Now begins the run of wide receiver, starting at 24 with Malik Neighbors, 98 speed, a perfect height of 6 foot, and if you do not have Jukebox as an ability for 0 AP as a receiver, you are not making this list. Malik Neighbors at 24. Next up, Jalen Waddle, 5'10", 99 speed stock, Jukebox for 0 AP, as well as Yak him up the X Factor for 0 AP, which is why he's a little bit above Malik Neighbors. And then my personal favorite wide receiver in the game, Amon-Ra St. Brown, 98 speed stock, Route Technician as an X Factor, Jukebox for 0 AP, 6 foot, so a perfect height. Also does get Slot Apprentice for 0 AP, so if you run a quarterback like Bo Jackson that does not have Hot Route Master or Master Tactician, Amon-Ra is vital for you having Route Apprentices for the first 9 plays of the game. At 21, we've got our highest golden ticket on this list as of today, and that is Breece Hall. Just a little bit better version of Darrington Evans because of his trucking at 90. Again, at that Ingram X Factors, that is on and off, but again, the reason he is not higher on this list is his X Factor is not on the entire game. Cracking your top 20, we have got Tariq Woolen, again, one of the older cards on this list, but the reason he is 98 speed, 6'4", pick artist for 0 AP, and the reason you are using Tariq Woolen on your field is the Universal Coverage Combine X Factor for 1 AP, which is on the entire game after 9 plays. Tariq Woolen, top 20. At 19, we've got the highest wide receiver on this entire list, and that is Tyreek Hill. Now, he is really, really short at 5'9", 99 speed stock, but the reason he's the highest on this list, Route Technician and Jukebox for 0 AP. He is Jerry Rice, but shorter, so he is able to evade those KOs when catching the ball. And then at 18, we've got a less AP version of Tariq Woolen in Nnamdi Asomugha, 6'3", 98 speed, Raiders theme team, might I add. Universal coverage for 0 AP on after 6 plays due to the Showtime X Factor, as well as pick artist for 0 AP. So he gets the God stack, you would say, for universal coverage, plus pick artist for 0 AP. Moving on, at 17, we've got tight end Bo Jackson. The reason he is so high up on this list, one, his height. Again, the shorter the player, the better for a receiver, a catcher of the football. 98 speed, Combine / Raiders theme team, but gets Vanguard, a unique X Factor for 0 AP. In my opinion, the most overpowered X Factor because there's no real counter to it. So if you were a toter, you probably got George Kittle and Bo Jackson as your tight ends. At 16 begins the run of outside linebackers, and it starts with Zaven Collins. He is everything you want in a linebacker, especially for this middle linebacker blitzing meta in the free safety blitz or the drop down safety blitz. 97 speed at 6'4", so he's tall, he's fast. He gets Edge Threat Elite, I believe one of the only cards in the game for 0 AP, Lurk Artist for 0 AP, as well as Mid Zone for 1 AP. So if he's your blitzing linebacker, again, in free safety zone blitz, if the quarterback does not have Fearless, his Edge Threat Elite combined with his Lurk Artist and Mid Zone KO is going to create one of the best linebackers in the game. Next up, we've got Derrick Brooks, a little bit different flavor than Zaven Collins. 97 speed, a little bit shorter, but does get mid-zone and lurk artist for 0 AP, which Zaven Collins does not get. And then on top of that, gets secure tackler for 0 AP, so you don't have to worry about the angry runs running backs as much with Derrick Brooks. And then with Bruce Irvin at number 14, we've got everything really put together. Now, 95 speed on the card, so you might say is a little bit slow, but he has some of the unique chemistry options on any card in the game. Yes, I know Legion of Boom is very, very expensive, but even after that, you can get Seahawks/Raiders and Y2K chemistry very easily, able to get him up to 96 or 97 speed. He's going to get Lurk Artist for 0 AP. He's going to get Midzone for 0 AP. He's going to get Tackle Supreme for 0 AP. And then on top of that, he has the AK Avalanche X Factor, which I'm using right now, one of the best in the game. At 13, we've got Ring of Honor JJ Watt. I didn't really know where to put this card on this list because, in my opinion, I see him as the best defensive tackle in this game, and he gets Lurk Artist for 0 AP. A lot of times, I get caught on the D-line if the player does quick snap, and, well, it's like using Jack Campbell with your D-tackle. 95 speed, 6'5", also gets run stuff for the X Factor, although it's pretty much just inside stuff for 0 AP. Let's get Edge for the Elite if you want to pay the 1 AP for JJ Watt, all around one of the best defensive linemen in the game. At number 12, we've got Brian Dawkins. Now, Brian Dawkins is a bit of a weird card. He's been phased out of the top defensive backs in the game because of his height, as well as his lack of the Avalanche ability as an X Factor. But Brian Dawkins still, right now, is the best slot corner in the game. Yes, I said slot corner. Mid-zone, flat zone, and pick artist, all for 0 AP. Also can play outside corner, top of the line. Brian Dawkins can really just do it all. And at number 11, it is Eric Dickerson. Some of you guys thought he might be the running back 1 on this list, but he comes in at running back 2. And the reason why, again, jukebox, evasive, 0 AP. But if you want to have the Angry Runs X Factor, you have to pay the token. If the token didn't exist, he would be running back 1. But we do have, like, you know, there's stipulations for the running backs. And the first thing is no token, because that token is probably used on the likes of Lawrence Taylor and some other Ring of Honor players yet to be named on this list. Cracking your top 10 is Chad Powers. Now, I think Chad Powers is one of the more untapped players right now in the meta. Now, we all know the rollout cheese is very, very prevalent in the summer of Madden 24. I think Chad Powers can eventually overtake and become the best card in this entire game because of his unique abilities, being he gets the X Factor Angry Runs for 1 AP on a quarterback, combined with Truz for 1 AP, can make it to where you roll out, you break the first tackle every single time. To me, that sounds a little bit broken. Just a little bit. I don't think people have realized how good this card potentially can be. Traditional 4 release, so best release in the game. 96 speed, 6'5", height doesn't really matter on a quarterback, but he gets all the passing abilities you want except for Fearless. So right now, he is my quarterback. I spend all 9 AP on him, but I have Roaming, Gunslinger, Pass the Elite, Hot Route Master. I guess the one thing he does not have, Master Tactician. He does have Hot Route Master. But Chad Powers, for running with your quarterback, he's the best in the game. At number 9, we've got Mike Renfelt, one of the more expensive cards. And well, we're getting to the top 10. So all the cards, except for I think 1 or 2 of them, are very, very, very expensive. 98 speed, Raiders theme team, 6'2", pick artist built on for 0 AP. It's that unique Avalanche X Factor as an ability for 0 AP, and then Deep Zone for 0 and Mid Zone for 1. So you do have to pay, like if you want Avalanche, you're going to have to pay for either Mid Zone, or you're going to have to pay for Mid Zone if you want to have Mid Zone on the card. So it's the reason why this card isn't top 5, but he's still one of the best defensive backs in the game because of that Avalanche X Factor as an ability. Moving on to number 8, we've got Ring of Honor Troy Polamalu. Token or not, this is a very, very good card in the game. The only thing I don't like about this card is pick artists on the shorter corners or shorter defensive backs just isn't as good, because most of the time when pick artist animates, it's almost like you're intercepting the ball through the receiver, and the shorter the player model is, the less likely that is going to happen in game. But even with a Ring of Honor token, pick artist, deep zone, mid zone, flat zone for 1 AP. Without the token, you're just going to have to pay for flat zone, so it'll end up being, I think, 2 or 3 AP. But Troy P can play. He's one of the best slot players in the game because he gets mid zone and flat zone pick artist for 0 AP, but also can play him at outside corner or safety. At number 7, we've got that running back 1 in Bo Jackson. You guys already know why he's the running back 1 on this list. He does everything Eric Dickerson does do, but he gets the Angry Runs X Factor, not needing a token. So you can make your other players better on the field and still get all the benefits of an Eric Dickerson and an Angry Runs X Factor. But in Bo Jackson, he's only, what, 100, 120k? Every single player, whether it is your backup or your starter, should have Bo Jackson on your team. Just missing out on the top 5 is the middle linebacker, ultimate legend, Ray Lewis. And I think Ray Lewis would be top 5 if he was 6'4 or 6'5. 6'1, a little bit short. You know, he's not short, but he is short for a middle linebacker. 98 speed gets that Avalanche X Factor as an ability. You do also have to pay 1 AP if you want to run mid-zone KO. So lower cars, mid-zone KO, and Avalanche is the stack most people are going to be running for a combination of 1 AP. He can play outside linebacker, can play user, Ray Lewis, an overall great card. Cracking the top 5, we've got Richard Sherman, the best non-X Factor or non-unique X Factor as an ability defensive back in the game. 98 speed, 6'3", but he feels like he's 6'5" with this player model. Pick artist for 0 AP. I play him more as a safety with mid zone and deep zone for a combination of 1 AP. So pick artist, mid zone, deep zone for 1 AP on Richard Sherman. He is a top 5 card in the game. And at number 4, a card you probably thought wouldn't be that high on this list, but it's Tony Gonzalez. And the reason he is his abilities and X Factors. Not only X Factor, momentum. The only offensive player that does get this X Factor in the game currently. The reason Tony G is top 5. Jukebox, red zone threat, leapfrog, all for 0 AP without a Ring of Honor token. We all know how good Jukebox is on receivers and running backs after the catch. He's one of the only players that gets it as a tight end for 0 AP, and that is why he's coming in at number 4. But at number 3, we've got the unanimous quarterback run right now in Madden 24 World Team. Now, I think Lamar Jackson has quite a few flaws. I don't love his X Factors being run and gun because I don't think run and gun is as good as roaming Deadeye. He also does not, or you can't run Fearless also with Gunslinger and roaming Deadeye. So if you choose Fearless, you can only choose between one of roaming and Gunslinger. So pretty much you are forced to not run Fearless on Lamar Jackson. Does get Master Tactician, and the main thing why he is just a better juiced up version than quarterback Bo Jackson or Michael Vick. Well, one, he's a righty, traditional full release, but he does get that Truz X Factor as an ability and not an X Factor, so he can get charged down by the momentum. X Factor from a card coming in a little bit, but Lamar Jackson, quarterback 1, comes in at number 3. Coming in at number 2, the last of the Legion of Boom members, Cam Chancellor, aka LTD. I think the most expensive card in the game right now, but it's kind of for good reason. He's probably not going to replace as one of the top 4 or 5 defensive backs for the rest of the year because he gets 3 discounted ability slots, 4 with a built-on Avalanche for 0 AP, can get Pick Artist, Deep Zone, Mid Zone, Flat Zone, and Avalanche, all for a combination of 2 AP. I play him at outside corner because that's where I think Avalanche is best used, but Cam Chancellor, the best defensive player, or actually, I take that back, the best defensive back in the game. But at number 1, the best defensive card in this game, really voted by the community as I asked on Twitter, or asked on X, and Aaron Donald was unanimously in everyone's top 3. I don't think there was a person that did not have Aaron Donald. Tribute card, 96 speed. He's got that glitchy player model that I think attributes back to his AKA card 92 overall. Just gets great disengage animations, especially in 6-1. Gets the Relentless X Factor as an ability for 0 AP. Also gets Edge Threat Elite for 1 AP. Also Secure Tackler, just overall. And then X Factors. Oh, I forgot to mention the X Factors. You can get Momentum for 4 AP, which is what a lot of people use it on, but also gets Unstoppable, and I believe Colossus for 1 AP, which again is the best defensive line X Factors in the game. Aaron Donald is the best card right now in Madden 24 Ultimate Team. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, the first iteration, I would say, of the Icho Bruin top 50 MUT cards. Probably going to do this once a month or once every other month moving forward, especially moving into the future Maddens and especially NCAA. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment down below if I made any mistakes. I probably did, first time doing this. And comment your favorite card in Madden 24.